It's 8:30. Good morning, I'm Jessica Rouse with Hunter News. Not only has a Hunter man pleaded not guilty to the murder of Elizabeth Betty Dixon over 30 years ago, he's also denied an alternative charge of being an accessory after the fact. Rodney Lawrence is accused of the 31-year-old's murder from over 30 years ago when her body was found in a car in Bushland at Ashtonfield. Lawrence is currently behind bars and appeared via video link in the Supreme Court yesterday, where his lawyer said Lawrence maintains his deceased father-in-law is the culprit, not him. The judge will decide whether he is free from his sentence today. A Newcastle Anglican priest has avoided jail term. A Newcastle Anglican priest has avoided jail term after pleading guilty to indecently assaulting a 12-year-old boy in the late 1960s. Instead, the Herald reports Reverend Bruce Shaw was handed a 3-month suspended jail sentence for the offence when he was a teacher and principal at a Victorian primary school. An alleged thief will face Newcastle local court today after he was charged with breaking into a shop in Warners Bay. The store on the Esplanade was broken into early on Sunday morning, where an amount of cash and watches were stolen. Police launched an investigation which led them to a house on 6th Street in Bullaroo with a search warrant where they seized a number of items and arrested the 47-year-old man. He was charged with break, enter and steal, goods in custody and custody of a knife in a public place. In the lead up to winter, Hunter residents are being urged to get flu vaccinations. Free flu shots are available for those who are considered high risk, such as pregnant women, people aged over 65, and those aged 6 months and older who have an underlying serious medical condition. Physician for Hunter New England Health, Dr. Tony Merritt, says getting the flu shot is a person's best line of defence in beating influenza.
It's a very important protection against influenza, and so we strongly recommend it for people. It's not perfect, it's not 100%, and no vaccine is, but it offers good protection, particularly, as I say, for people in whom influenza can be a really serious threat.
The Easter long weekend has just finished, soon to be followed by the Anzac Day long weekend, and police are urging motorists to stay safe and be patient on the Hunters roads. Operation Go Slow kicks off at midnight tonight with double demerits and finishes midnight next Tuesday. The school holidays also wrap up this weekend, and police will be out in great numbers targeting speeding, mobile phone use, alcohol and drug-affected drivers, fatigue and seatbelt use. The Easter long weekend saw 400 speeding tickets and over 1,200 random breath tests, catching 27 people drink driving across the Hunter. Police say they're determined to catch those who are putting other drivers' lives at risk. A partnership between Life Without Barriers and Lake Macquarie Libraries will bring a new Aboriginal literacy program to the local community. The partnership is set to draw on existing resources to increase literacy rates and promote greater connections to Aboriginal heritage. The launch at Toronto Library this Friday will feature a tour of the Aboriginal Knowledge Centre, storytelling, art workshops and live performances. Life Without Barriers State Lead for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Initiatives, Les Ahoy, says good literacy levels contribute to higher education attainment.
It's about increasing that educational attainment, or contributing to it, in terms of getting Aboriginal children to go through to Year 12 and, if not higher, to uni.
And there are reports some people in Port Stephens felt the earth move beneath their feet last night as an earthquake struck off the coast of Foster, 26 kilometres below the surface. An earthquake measuring 3.3 on the Richter scale was detected. However, the Australian Tsunami Warning Centre says there's no threat to the mainland.
Sport for our sponsor, PRD Nationwide East Maitland.
There are plenty of quality players coming on the market in the NRL, and the Newcastle Knights are determined to take their time and make the right choices. The club believe quick fixes for the short term to lift the Knights' chances isn't the answer. Coach Nathan Brown says long-term decisions are the ones which will bring the dividends into the future.
Being backed by the club, we thought that getting our roster right long-term is the most important thing for the Knights. We haven't made any short-term decisions, and it may impact us in the short term.
Netball's Hunter United are preparing for round 2 of the Metro League division on Thursday night against Borkham Hills, but coach Tracy Baber says she's not taking much away from their win in round 1 against Penrith. She says the team have battled illnesses, but some players were too nervous in round 1, so she expects an improved display from her team. And progressing into Newcastle Rugby League's final is something Newcastle coach Stu Pinkerton has been determined to make happen since he assembled the Newcastle team. Newcastle have to beat Central West on Saturday in order to progress to the final after 3 consecutive country championship losses since 2014. And the winning numbers in Wednesday Lotto are 7, 1, 5, 31, 27 and 22, and the supplementaries are 33 and 45. 2NURFM News Time, 25 to 9.